This episode is sponsored by Good Meads Emporium, found on Etsy.com.
Are you getting anxiety because your favorite generic tabletop role-playing game is now run by greedy overlords? Have they changed the terms of the agreement they made with your ancestors, leading your village to doom? Are your therapy sessions simply recounting your exciting adventures in make-believe land? Fear not! At Good Meads Emporium, we have all the fun-filled gaming garbage you need. Well, honestly, it's just miniatures and models, but they are fun as hell to paint. Find your next miniature or model at Good Meads Emporium on Etsy. New releases monthly. Back to you, people playing generic fantasy game.
We get a Wally?
Yeah, he's coming.
Don't whip out your Wally.
Oh, because it might need to get waxed, right?
Greased.
Yeah, well, I guess he got greased. His candle got waxed.
Candle got waxed. All right, so if Wally's here, somebody give him a recap. I'll be right back.
All right,
Wait,
Julien,
what was
paint us a picture of a greased up Wally.
50 Feet of Rope, a tabletop podcast of good friends throwing bad dice. Your cast: Adam plays Crow, who is a swashbuckler rogue.
I am hoping you have a story that you can tell me.
Brian plays Pix, who is a wild magic sorcerer.
I feel you're so cute, but I also want to vomit.
Chris plays Scraps, who is an alchemist articifer.
This is not scientific.
Josh plays Wally, who is a divination wizard.
Study. Magic.
Lindsey plays Salt, who is a gunslinger fighter.
Yeah, bro, you just gotta catch the cosmic wave just right.
And featuring Julien as the dungeon master.
I take deep, visceral pleasure in informing you that this time you do not get sneak attack.
This is Campaign 1, Shanties of the Astral Sea, a custom Spelljammer homebrew game developed by Julien himself. Episode 6, Confrontations and Secrets. Stuck in the Rock of Braal, the adventurers wait in their Spelljammer in hopes of escaping the city before the authorities can find them. All the while, Wally the Divination Wizard makes his way through the city back to the ship. Not to rejoin the crew, but to demand their intentions and determine, once and for all, Scraps' dark secret.
Wally, you eventually make your way out of these, various sub-basements and like these connected kind of septic things. It's not a great scene. You're gonna try to forget this as quickly as you can. But as you climb out and end up on the streets of Braal, your body isn't particularly filthy. You do leave rivulets of all sorts of effluvia and...
No, I don't. I use prestidigitation like a squeegee, and because it can clean or soil garments, and I just... And there's a huge pile of like viscous fat and effluvia, and
you do that with
on the other arm, and like just like he like kind of like uses his hands like a magical squeegee, and like all his stuff just like off of him, and he leaves just like this pile of like gross, nasty fattiness all around him.
Beautiful. You actually like you step. You basically there's like a line, like a filter that just passes from head down to toe, and when you stop and you step out, you leave a perfectly shaped set of boot prints and like where the hem of your coat rested on the ground, and in only those places there is no filth. And when you step out of it, it's just like this little like foot high mound that you just step up and over, that perfectly contours on the inside where your clothing stopped touching it. And you are as fresh as a spring daisy, and with a little bounce in your step as you walk completely unnoticed among the people on the Rock of Braal. Are you going to still wear your guard uniform? A couple of other people have ditched theirs.
Oh, you know what? Wally's relatively unknown. When convenient, I chuck the guard uniform. I get back in my red robes that I'm comfortable in, and make my way to the ship. Well, I stop. I do the shopping that we talked about. I wanna use one of those potions.
Cool. You have all of the things that we talked about purchasing.
Let's get me to the ship.
As you enter in to the dock area, what you notice right off the bat is that the area is now abuzz with activity. You see that there are knots of guards that are here and there around the docks. They are kind of now tightly packed together. You see, standing across from them, there's like a wide promenade that is between the shops and where all of the docks are. Closer to the shops, the guards are resting in these knots and groups. Closer to the ships, you see a number of various crew members, Spelljammer, Captain Spelljammer, deckhands, things like that, kind of gathered in their own knots. There is almost no pedestrian traffic at the moment, and it is very tense as the guards and the ship captains and crew stare across the promenade at each other, and you can see that there's kind of like movement as like a runner will move from one group to another, or like a captain will turn and like have a conversation with someone behind him. Things are tense. You can see the Lady Luck is still at its dock, still berthed, but now where the tree normally has this kind of oak vibe to it, the limbs and boughs have spread out further and draped slightly, almost like a weeping willow, with big, thick, fat, frond-like leaves and purple flowers that most partially obscure what is happening on the deck of the ship.
Wally, very determinedly, he marches up to the ship and stops right at, I don't really know how the transition from like dock to ship goes, but like right at the threshold of the ship, before whatever one step before he would actually be on the ship.
So are you walking to the top of the gangplank?
Looks up on the deck.
I got you.
I assume there's some dividing line between like this part stays when the ship flies away, and this part goes when the ship flies away.
Got it.
And I am
You're
standing
on the part that stays.
right on the stay side.
Got it.
One step towards the part that stays, and I stop and I look up on the deck, and what do I see?
Well, currently you see
who's up on the deck?
Salt and Crow are standing over a huge circular black looking thing. It looks like a giant black circle that somebody has just put on the deck of the ship. You can see further back in underneath the canopy of drooping boughs that Pix is sitting at the Spelljammer helm, and with an expression somewhere between anxiety and maybe a little bit of a manic look. You see that she is just consistently like flicking bolts of fire off of her fingers. They just kind of dart off into the atmosphere and then fizzle out. And you watch just as Salt and Crow are where you guys are grabbing that rope, grabbing a big coiled piece of knotted rope as they stand over the black circle.
All right, well, so that's fine. Wally first calls out, Salt, can I talk to you?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Can you come here? Maybe I don't have to shout so much.
Yeah. I'm coming. Hey, by the way, do you know what these things are?
What things?
Well, this one I figured out. I think that's a portable hole that you can just put shit in. And I don't know what this rope is, though.
Wally starts to get really excited. Like, he's seeing all these cool magical items, and then he kind of stops and goes, nope. Listen, Salt, I think I'm done here. I thought what we were doing was going to be fun. We were going to do a little smash, a little grab, a little prison break, a little chaos. I'm all for a little thievery and a little chaos. But what you guys did was wholesale slaughter. And I don't think I'm okay with all of that. I mean, you shot a guy right in the face for no reason. He was just mildly suspicious, and you blew his brains out.
When did I do that?
You absolutely did that, buddy.
you mean the time I shot a guy 4 times in the face off camera and everybody just heard it and nobody saw it?
No, you shot the guy 4 times. You went down a flight of stairs. Right before that, like, there was 2 guys that were like, wait, that's not the prince. And you were like, blah, right in the head. He'd been helping us out till that moment. And as soon as he was like, that's not the prince, you fucking shot him in the face.
That's
you don't even remember it. 30 minutes later.
I did do that.
Okay. That's on top of the fact that when we're going to crash a ship into a giant building and these poor, like, average Joes, they're just doing their fucking jobs. They're trying to shoot some ballistas at us. Of course they are. You have to go and kill them. There was no reason to kill them. We were about to crash a hole into the building and go inside. They had wives, kids. I thought this was a smash and grab. Little chaos, little thievery. No, it was a whole fast slaughter. And then Scraps, he threw a bomb in the side of the building and killed everybody. He killed like 4 nudes.
Wally, get on the ship. We gotta go.
Nope. I need to talk to Scraps. Get Scraps for me. I need to talk to Scraps. I said my piece to Salt. I need to talk to Scraps.
Scraps!
You know, Wally, I didn't kill anyone. Well, I mean, I did. I kind of defiled a dead body, but he was going to hurt you.
You know what, Pix? You're just trying to get home, and I respect you for that, and I hope you find your home, and I hope you don't let the rest of these hooligans turn you as evil as they are.
It's really
So
Am I
that would be a
close
good
enough-
moment for Scraps to come up on the deck of the ship,
I
perhaps.
think it would be.
Am I close enough to hear this?
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
yeah, you're
standing.
right there.
You're literally standing right there, Crow.
I
Scraps,
kneel down and say,
you owe me a riddle. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Adam, if you
I
want.
was going to say, I really tried. And the only person I stabbed was that squid guy. He was awful. Everybody else I tried to.
Stabbing. He thoroughly deserved stabbing.
Everybody else I tried to send on their way. We did not want to do anything but grab Harcourt. Right now, they want to kill all of the sailors. If we do not leave or find some place to hide, we are going to have what they say is a bad day. So
That's
maybe
fine.
we
Let
have
me
these
talk to
conversations.
Scraps.
Let us
Let
have
me
these
talk to
conversations.
Scraps, and I'll decide whether I'm getting on the ship or not.
Oh, well, then get on the ship. And I turn and I walk away.
And I walk away.
All right. Always turning and walking away. That's our MO.
So can I
Like,
make it
that's
like
what
a persuasion roll? Like get on the ship.
You can't persuade another PC. I have autonomy, sir.
Yeah, I in general, I think persuading other PCs isn't always the best move.
Although I did find your argument persuasive, if that makes
But-
you feel better.
But Crow, go ahead and roll performance for me.
Crow rolled 23 in performance. What happened?
He certainly did. Wally, you watch as Crow bends down to you and delivers his line, get on this ship. And he stands up abruptly, and the wind catches in his cloak, and he turns and his tail kind of does this sinuous curve, and you see that the wind then catches him. It's weird because you're in space, like where is this wind coming from? It just catches the hem of his jacket as he walks away, and it kind of makes this like flapping, flowing thing as he steps, I don't know, I guess like 15 feet away, and then just stands there.
When did he get a cloak of billowing?
Scraps, you come up to the deck of the ship. You see that there is a perfectly black circular opening on the top of the deck. And Salt is standing with Wally. Crow has just strode away dramatically, billowing, quite elegant. And actually, you look at him and you go, "Wow, he's really powerful." And Wally looks really angry.
You owe me a riddle. Now.
I suppose I do. Would anyone else like to hear my riddle?
I mean, we're all here.
Well, Wally, here is my final riddle. I follow you all the time. I am something like your mime. Reach toward me, I will run. Can you catch me? We are one.
It's a shadow.
My riddles were too easy for you, Wally.
I'm a brilliant wizard. What did you expect? So now here's my question. What is that in your mind? What evil demon is inside your head that you're expecting us all to go along with? Because I know the captain was only kidnapped because of you, because of something you did, because they're after you. So you tell us all what we're in for.
You're right, Wally. The time has come for me to tell you all my secret. I didn't want to, because I was worried it would compromise your safety.
You've already compromised everyone's safety. You've already got a whole bunch of people murdered. So come on, out with it. I saw him in there. So what is it?
Wally, I'm the monster.
You're the monster. Bullshit. You've got a pact with some demon, some devil that's giving you part of your power.
My pact, my agreement is not with a demon, but with a Kenku alchemist.
And why are you worth kidnapping the captain for? Why are you putting every one of us in danger?
I don't know if I'm worth putting everyone in danger. And if you all don't want me on the ship anymore, I understand. I'm confident I can make my own way in Braal. And indeed, it might be true that you'll be safer without me. Although I've already spoken to Salt regarding my concerns regarding the captain. That might be true, Wally. I can't lie. You might be safer if I'm not on the ship. And so if you don't want me on the ship, I'll stay here and make my own way. They're after me because they don't understand why I would flee them, why I wouldn't cooperate with them, why I wouldn't take a life, this thing you've accused me of.
I mean, you have taken a life. I watched you do it. You threw a bomb. It killed at least 4 or 5 guards.
That was my choice.
And me. It almost killed me.
That was your choice.
No, that was not my choice. You know exactly what I was doing. You knew that I jumped off the ship and I was running up towards that hole we had made and you threw a bomb at it.
I wasn't trying to kill you, Wally.
No, you certainly weren't trying not to either. You were trying. You didn't care about the collateral damage. Kill all the guards. Kill Wally. Kill the captain. You don't care about any of us.
That's not true.
Is it? Is it not true? How is it not true? You haven't even told us the nature of your deal or why there's something living inside your head. You've given vague answers.
Nothing is living inside my head. I am what's living inside the head of this Kenku alchemist.
Insight check.
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
Yeah.
Anyone who wants to.
I mean, Lindsey understands what this is doing, but Salt has no fucking idea.
I'm in the dark here, dude.
Honestly, I don't think I'm there to make that insight check, but
Oh no,
You
you're
are.
there. Yeah,
You're standing right there.
You want me to make that for you?
oh yeah, for sure.
Once
Wally-
upon a time, not that long ago, there was a Kenku alchemist artificer named Kelton, or the Mad Alchemist. He had a shop in the Low City. He was successful in his way, but was not known for working with others or cooperating with them. He offended some powerful people, I've learned since, probably the Alloyed Assembly. He was kidnapped by the Alloyed Assembly, and a small creature was put inside of his head. That creature is me.
You're clearly not inside of anybody's head. You're standing here on the deck.
Julien.
I look like this. I hold up a sheet of tin. I tap it. I show Wally or anyone else a picture of what Scraps looks like. The picture comes to life, and in an animated image, a worm crawls inside Kelton's ear and then becomes sort of like a three-dimensional kind of X-ray or MRI look or something like that as the worm wraps itself around
Could I make
Kelton's
Holy
brain.
fuck!
like an intelligence
Wait.
check?
You're a brain worm and the alchemist.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So you are. There is a demon living inside your head, except the demon's in control. Oh shit!
Except
Sorry.
I'm the demon.
Hold on 1 second, because there's some people who wanted to have a moment.
Sorry.
Lindsey,
Yeah.
what were you saying?
So with a 24 insight,
Yeah.
do I know that this symbiote? Does Salt know what the symbiote is? Lindsey knows
Hey,
the-
do I know that
Lindsey
this
knows
is
what the
going to be a
symbiote is.
wizard?
Crow is from Faerun and has way fewer interactions with Mind Flayers and Illithids. Salt, however, is on the Rock of Braal and has spent some time. So, Salt, if you want to roll a history check, go ahead and do that. Okay. So, you're not... Salt, you know that there's a lot of rumors about Mind Flayers and Illithid, the Illithid race and what they do. There's talk about how they are from beyond the stars, and kind of like everybody knows that that's maybe true, sort of true, but nobody also knows what that means, because what the fuck is beyond the stars? You know that they don't come straight out of the egg looking the way that they do, that they start their life as a tadpole worm looking thing. But you also know some kind of darker whispers that illithids do something to people, and there's a lot of conjecture about what that something is. People know that they literally do eat brains, but there's also like, do they enslave people? Do they steal their minds somehow? There's a lot of like whispered rumor that you're aware of. So you do know what that worm tadpole thing is. You know that what you're looking at there is probably a baby illithid.
Where I'm from, there's this movie it's called Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan, and what they did is they stick these little worms in the guys, and they take us over their brains. And what Captain Kirk did, and like Star Trek is for nerds. I don't really like it, but my brother likes it a lot. So like I don't think less of me for a while. Anyways, so like Captain Kirk tells one of the guys to kill himself, and he was so freaked out by it, the worm thing crawled out of his ear, and then they killed it with the phaser. So yeah, that's maybe that.
Well, I
help.
can't crawl out of Kelton's ear, Pix. Against my will, I am bonded to Kelton's brain. I cannot be removed by any means that I know.
So look, he's already a murderer. He's got it inside this guy's head, and
I haven't killed Kelton.
Wiped out his personality. He has He doesn't even control of his own body.
That's true, but I have not wiped out his personality. In fact, the only reason why you're talking to me is because Kelton's body and brain are still alive.
But so he's just imprisoned inside of his own body. You're the puppet master.
Yes. And I didn't choose that, Wally. I didn't choose to be a puppet master. I didn't choose to inhabit this body.
Cool. So my question, Kelton Scraps, obviously you ran away from the illithids. Is that why they're after you, or is there another reason?
That's why they're after me.
Because you ran.
I can assume. I can only assume.
Insight check on that.
Well, go for it.
Oh, okay.
He seems like he is telling you the truth.
All right.
It doesn't. Well, Chris, are you actively trying to deceive anyone?
No.
Yep. He seems like he is being honest.
Yeah, that's all I got. Wally?
So, Wally, I'm not cooperating with the murderers. Yes, it's true I killed guards, just like all of you did. And I don't know how much you looked around in there, Wally, but those people that we killed weren't good people. They had brands, irons, torture devices, chairs, whips. You could smell it in that place, couldn't you?
You'll find that in any dungeon throughout any world you go to. I mean, that's just how order is kept. And
every dungeon has people willing to use tools like that.
I hear you. Doesn't excuse it.
What I said stands. If you'd like me to leave the ship, for all of your safety, I will. I understand that my behavior has given you all cause to be suspicious of me. That's understandable. But when you stopped breathing, it was me who gave you breath again, Wally. And you too, Crow.
Listen,
I tried to help.
I just have a question then. All right. In this universe, there's good guys. There's bad guys. There's guys who are just out for themselves and a little bit of fun and a little bit of chaos. Which are we?
Who's here for this conversation?
Everyone's
All of us?
Who are you talking to, Josh?
To everyone. I'm addressing everybody. Because I assumed everybody is within earshot, all 4 of the other players.
Is there anybody you look at specifically first?
Well, I look fine. I say I look around. I look specifically at Salt, and I go, "Are we the kind of people who kill people just because they're inconvenient?"
I do anything and everything to protect the people under my care, including, but not limited to you.
And I'll do anything and everything to understand my condition and create an answer so that Kelton can once more have his body back. It's the promise I made him. He doesn't need to cooperate with me, but he does, because he has no choice but to trust me. I could have consumed him a long time ago if I had chose.
All right.
And I could have taken your life if I chose, Wally. And I think you know that.
Could all taken each other's lives. Get over it.
Yeah, seriously, get over yourself. I could kill you, you could kill me. It just depends on, who gets luckier. I mean, if you want to do it, you want to sling some spells. I really thought that you were going to, you're going to start fucking slinging spells at me when I started asking the hard questions. You were awful fucking pissed when I looked inside your head. I was ready to come out here and have a mage duel. And you didn't.
I don't think either of us is in any shape for dueling right now.
No, not really. And I didn't really want to. But it's what I expected. And, well, I was wrong about that.
Well,
all right.
This is not what I was expecting. You all have your own stories to tell.
Let me ask you this.
But I crow. Well, we'll collect your stories.
And that's your mistake, Crow.
Share, but what we need to do is we need to find our way off this rock, or we will have nothing left to share.
Well, it sounds like you guys actually want me on this ship. Am I part of the crew?
Well, Wally, I think you asked a very good question, because not too long ago, I actually killed a creature, and I was told that I was soft, I was weak, and now you're talking about killing indiscriminately and what? So what are we? And what am I?
That's what I'm asking. Are we the good guys? Are we the bad guys? Are we just fun-loving bringers to chaos? But if we're just going to be wantonly killing everybody in our way, the old Walster's got to find his own way to Earth. And that's all right. That's all right. And literally out of character. That's all right.
Well, for me, I've learned one thing in the last few days, is that I will kill anyone that tries to hurt my family. And as much as all of you are stupid and smelly and ugly and creepy and brainwormy, you're kind of my family here.
We have to get to your family, Pix, and your world.
Not
just to return you, but to warn them.
Well, God,
because the Illithid are coming.
All right, you son of a bitch, I'm in. Wally walks on the ship.
Okay, hang on, we're taking off.
So hold on.
I'm in as long as we're not going to be the bad guys. So, can you promise me we're not going to be the bad guys?
I can promise you that we will do our best not to kill the good guys.
Is this as you're pulling away?
Yes.
Yes.
So hold on. So are there other ships leaving the docks?
No one
Not
has
yet.
left the dock, because everyone is in this game of chicken / the prisoner's dilemma. After Crow spread the rumor that the sailors were going to get blamed for the attack, and the guard were looking for, and they all came to the conclusion that they were going to be scapegoated in a political game. So Pix very abruptly wheels the Spelljammer away from the docks.
Oh shit!
The gangplank falls away, and you all watch as dozens of guards suddenly go, "Fuck!" and all reach for their swords. A couple of runners go sprinting away.
Yes, we should have waited.
And the ship starts hauling ass slowly away from the Rock of Braal.
Hauling ass at 4 miles an hour.
However, you do also watch as all of the other ship crews watch you pull away, and many of them go, "Shit!" and all rush for their ships at the same time, starting to get into position as everyone sees that you guys are making a break for it and maybe capitalizing on it. But in any case, the Lady Luck begins to bank and turn away from the Rock of Braal as it starts to fall back behind you. Some ships begin ponderously turning, but what you also see on the far side, on the underside of the Rock of Braal, are a number of hummingbird-like shapes that begin to come around from the side of it and start heading away.
Sprinting up to Pix. Pix, I need you to go perpendicular to where we were. Go.
And she looks at Salt and she says, Salt,
Please.
you're not the good guys. You're not the bad guys. We're the great guys. And she
I thought you were going to say ugly, but I'll go with great.
not great. Gray, you mangy cat. And then she
I'm
follows
totally down for being a gray guy.
All right.
So,
up. We need to go up.
As Pick says, you mangy... I said gray guys. All right, fine. And Wally yells, I'm totally fine with being a gray guy. The entire front of the Lady Luck pivots upward directly away from the Rock of Braal. You're still in the air and gravity envelope of the Rock of Braal, so everybody roll dexterity saves.
Oh, shit.
Do I have to roll?
Except for Pix, who is seated with a chair that has a back.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Roll for me, please.
Oh, no. I keep opening up Zoom and thinking I can click on my portrait and roll.
Nah, you're fucking fantastic, Adam.
You're so
Thank
great.
you.
I suppose this all means you're okay with being on board with a monster.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there.
Okay, cool.
You know.
So,
I'd rather have stayed there if you didn't want me here. I'm on the ship now.
I don't.
so you're all having this conversation, by the way.
Since we're pulling away and I'm trying desperately to fucking
We're
hold on.
desperately trying to hang on.
You're all having this conversation, and as you're in the middle of the conversation, the deck bucks from underneath your feet, and the deck goes from a solid 180 degrees of just flat, lovely wood to stand on to 90 degrees perpendicular, and you all begin sliding backwards towards the stern of the ship. Now, fortunately, Crow, you're a tabaxi. You very casually just dig your claws into the wood of the surface of the ship and just hang there comfortably. Actually, still carrying that beautiful 24 performance roll from earlier. So you actually kind of majestically hang there as your coat and tail sway behind you, and you kind of look like a rock climber, just kind of, pausing in midair. Wally, you begin sliding backwards. Yeah, please do.
Yeah. So Wally starts, realizing things are going squirrely, and he actually falls down on his butt. He does a head over, or heels overhead kind of thing. But while he's doing it, he grabs his Kupak staff off of his back, and he jams it into one of the railings or whatever, and uses that to leverage himself and keep himself from sliding further. And he looks at Scraps while all this is going on. I'm not saying I'm not okay with you. I mean, you seem like a good monster. We're gonna figure it out as we go, okay?
Scraps, how are you? You've passed the dex check as well, the dex save as well. Actually, you should have gotten higher because you rolled just a check, but I believe it's your save would have been a little higher. But in any case, you passed it. So, how does Scraps avoid sliding back down to the stern of the ship?
Oh boy, I don't even know. Perhaps by how about this? Since we're just doing for flavor, if it's okay with you, he'll make a couple quick motions with his hands and draw. I guess there's no time to draw a sigil in the air. I guess, okay, he falls down, starts to slide, draws a quick sigil in the air. It looks like that, and two of the ropes that are weighted are propelled from the sides of the ships directly toward his hands, and he grabs them, steadying him, and is able to brace himself between the two of them.
Meanwhile,
as though the ship itself has come to life, supporting him.
It is alive. Meanwhile, Salt, you are having this conversation with Pix at the helm, and she immediately follows your orders, and so you immediately are thrown from your feet, and you actually end up go sailing over Pix's head and land heavily on the trunk of the tree that sprouts behind the Spelljammer helm, taking 3 points of bashing damage.
What's that bring you down to, Salt?
A 29 out of 39.
Yeah, you're heavily winded, and just you're scrambling to save yourself on this the bough of this tree. But you all watch as directly behind the Rock of Braal recedes from view, and as Salt clearly planned, it forces all of these craft that were trying to make pursuit, now instead of being able to catch you on an angle, needs to navigate around the entire length of the Rock of Braal to get up and over the sides and pursue you from that direction. You've bought yourself a fair amount of time.
And hopefully they go for the easier prey.
You do watch as a number of other ships scatter in different directions. They took a while to take advantage of you guys breaking the chicken detente, but finally they get their asses in gear and ships are beginning to leave left, right, and center. But you guys, all of a sudden, clear the air envelope of Braal. And in that moment, you are reoriented to the deck of your ship. Wally, you go from doing the parallel bar, chin up that you're doing on your hudak, and instead just pivot and land your feet on the deck of the ship.
Oh no, Wally stumbles and face plants.
Oh, stumbles and face plants with no damage. Crow, who just, has his claws planted in the deck, sort of stays in this very stylish sprinter's pose. Scraps has been bracing himself against the deck, and so again, these ropes go limp instead, and he is now just standing. But again, Salt, who is now on the trunk of the tree, begins to slide down it, landing behind Pix in the Spelljammer helm as she continues to pilot you out into the vast empty darkness of wild space. And although they are still catching up to you, you have enough clearance so that when you clear just a little bit more distance from the Rock of Braal, suddenly the vast purple nebulae and stars stretch and pull like taffy, forming long lines of ethereal light that create a tunnel directly ahead of you as your Spelljammer suddenly streaks to millions of miles an hour, darting away from the Rock of Braal and into the vast expanse of empty space.
Pix says to Salt, you guys make fun of me for not having magic, from coming from a world with no magic, but at least we have seatbelts.
Well done, Pix.
What's a seatbelt? Do your seats have pants that need to be held up? Why would a seat have a belt?
All right.
And on that
Wally. Hold on, Julien.
Oh, go ahead.
Wally.
Yeah.
Scraps. Crow. Pix. As Captain Impromptu, I welcome you as crew to the Lady Luck.
I think the term's acting captain.
Yeah, whatever.
And what, does that actually mean I'm officially a crew member now?
Yeah.
Ensign Wally!
At that moment, Thessalia comes from below decks, and she is completely spattered and coated in all sorts of stew and wet stuff. And she just looks out at you
crap.
in a and she just goes, "So I take it we left."
Actually, just about to ask whether she was on the deck because I wanted her to be there for my speech.
I totally
I'm
thought
gonna
she
have
was.
to have a separate awkward conversation with
I
her.
totally thought she was going to come up and say that Harcourt just died.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I thought. When you said splattered, I was like, oh god.
I was like, I
she's
totally thought
splattered
Harcourt
in
died.
blood. I mean, he might have, if he took damage from them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
His bed is against the wall. I mean, he might have flopped over, but I mean, he's. You might want to go check on him. I don't know shit. But in any case,
Embarrassed
Julien,
anime
you're just
turn away.
handed a dramatic moment.
So,
In any case, the unless there's anything else that you guys would like to do,
I do have a statement for the rest of the team. Now we're hurtling away from the Rock of Braal. Well, I don't think that went well. We left many things undone. Where the fuck do we go now? This is not our space. And I look at Pix. Where do we go? How do we find your way home? I am a stranger here. I collect stories, but I'm afraid. And I turn around and I walk down below decks.
Dude, I'm a teenager. I don't even know how to get to the nearest McDonald's.
That's the ending.
Take a little responsibility for yourself, darn it.
This was a 50 Feet of Rope production. You can find us at 50feetofrope.com. If you like the show, please consider subscribing and leaving a review.